Okay, as the titles say, I'm gonna do a quick rundown of how brandz Boutique makes a 49ers apron. I'm not gonna go step by step for everything. This here is sort of like a moved along process, but I will in the future do a step by step for somebody that might be a beginner, or if you actually want to be able to do the full apron the way that we do it here. So what I've done so far is um, taking what we have as our own pattern. We made our own pattern for an apron, and we actually just made it from one that was used from maybe one that was bought in the store, one that was bought online, and sort of sized it up so that we could use it for our own personal pattern for sports gifts or personal gift or personalized gifts. And this particular fit is for a up to a size 2X or either even larger if you make adjustments like this, the waist size or the strap around the neck. And this one here is like a 2X for men. So of course it can also be used as a unisex. That's how we use it online. Because the same length for the neck strap and the waist strap, it can fit a lady or a man. So we just use that particular pattern unless someone say that they wanted a larger size or a smaller size, then we'll adjust accordingly. So what I did was I went on Joann's for this particular fabric. Normally it comes in like a black color, so the background is mostly black, and then it's white, and then with the black. But this here is sort of like a new fabric that they probably had on the market for a while, and it's the first time that I actually had to use it. On Joann also, they have you have to order like 2 yards in order for them to ship it if you have to order offline, so that's the least amount that you can order for it. But for this particular apron, we only need 1 yard, and not even 1 yard. 1 yard can actually make 2 of the aprons that we use here at brandz Boutique. So what I've done was I used the pattern and I went and I cut it out according, if you look at it you can see according to the pattern it's the same way. And then also use which is a 100% cotton fabric as like a back and forward, so that it won't be too lightweight. Or you can use like the duck canvas fabric or whatever material, of course, that you would like, or whatever color you like. I used the white because it's in the fabric. You can use. I could have used the red, or I could have used the black. But like I said, it really doesn't matter. And then after I did that, I went to Hobby Lobby not long ago because I needed some bias tape. And bias tape is actually like this here lining, or the trim, I should say, that goes around the actual apron. So I already went ahead on, and I went around the whole apron and I sewed it on already. And like I said, later on we can do like a step by step, or if you're a beginner and you want to do a step by step, we can do that also. But now we're to the point where, and I can even put it up against myself. And like I said, it actually stretches all the way out, and then once you add the back to it, or the scraps to it, I should say, then, like I said, according it does fit a 2X, up to a 2X. Maybe even larger, it just depends, and it can be for a man or a woman. So the next thing I want to do is, what I did was, when I cut out the actual apron, we pretty much use all parts of the fabric, the whole 1 yard we use it, and when I cut it out, like I said, the 1 yard can actually make 2 aprons. So I put one apron to the side, so when I actually cut it out on the sides, this here is like what we would say would be like the arms for it. So we actually take this here and we're going to use it, and these are going to be our pockets later on. And then the bottom piece that we had left, it actually can be used either for the neck strap or either for the side or the tie backs. So we're going to take these here, and I'm just going to show you, without using up too much time, to sort of show you how we go about doing that. So like I said, I use the black bias tape to go around as far as the trim. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let me see. I'm going to take one of the pocket pieces, and I'll show you when you open it up. This is how it looks. But what I normally do is go to the bottom of it, and I cut like this much off, and that way when I get done, it actually sort of looks like this here. So to sort of give it a little flavor, if you want to call it. I didn't have any more of the black bias tape left, but it's fine. I probably got some more in the room. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this red one, and I'm going to take it and open it up, and I'm going to use it. I'll show you in a second what I'm doing with it. I'm going to take it and open it up. Then I'm going to take my piece of the top of the fabric here and lay it flat down, and pretty much just stitch it across. Thread try and act up a little bit. Wait 1 second. Let's get that fixed up. Got a little tangle up there. We don't need that. Have to clean it up a little bit so it won't look bad. So, alright, let me re-thread it up. And for the color, as far as the thread, like I said once again, because the fabric does have the red, the white, or the black, you can choose to use either the black thread on the top, or you can use it on the bottom for the sewing, or you can use it for the bobbing as well. So okay, let's try that again. So I want to go across here, and let's just go straight across. This here is like in the center of the bias tape. Once I get finished, you'll see exactly what I'm doing. If you're not really familiar to using bias tape, or even if you don't know how to sew, you know, sort of trying to get an idea of what exactly is a bias tape. Alright, so I took it, and this is how it looks. We'll clean it up a little bit. I'm going to take all the little hanging threads and stuff off of it. So this here is how it look open up. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to close it on up. So to give it that finishing touch. So now if you look, it's actually flat across. We made a top for it. So then, I don't have no particular measurements for how much I turn back. But I do have my tape measure. I guess I can use that right quick and show you. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, at the top part is showing that we're going to fold back like 2.5 inches on each side. And what I mean when I say that is, I'm going to show you, we actually just folding the back side back so that it can be like flat on the side when I get done. And we're going to do the same thing on the other sides. I'm going to do 2.5 as well. And like I said, it's not really a particular amount that I use for it. I can sort of look at it myself and just tell when it's about even or if it's good enough. So, alright, so what we're going to do, where we got those pins at, take it and stitch over it. Around here to the curve, sort of go in, fold it in at the bottom as well, go across the bottom, fold in the corners. I'm going to try to make it look the same on both sides, but like I said, if it's a little personal gift or whatever, it's going to come out pretty much right anyway. It's going to look good. You'll enjoy it. Like I said, it just depends. You can be creative and do it your own way. If you want to do that, that's fine too. As you look, because we did use the, let me clean it up just a little bit and I'll show you in 1 second. Alright, so this here is now a pocket, or I call it a pocket. So I use the white thread on the bobbin, so of course on the front now, you know, you see the white thread sort of blending in with it. So we got that part done. So I can do one or two things, but I'm gonna go ahead on and do this here while we're at this point. And for most of the aprons, of course, most people, and especially guys, they prefer for the pocket to be at the bottom of the apron. So what we're gonna do, let me hold it up to you. We're gonna hold the apron and sort of put it close to the bottom and center it. Of course, we're gonna measure and make sure we do have it where we want it at. And once I get that done, I'll show it to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna choose a line. Try to make it as even as possible, and then I'm going to look to measure. We got a little over 7 inches on that side, about the same on that side. Just got it right. And then at the top of the pocket down to the bottom, we got like 10.5 inches there. 10, and come down just a little bit with this one. We need to make sure you measure it again. Just going to put it at 11. So sometimes the pocket can sort of be off a little bit. Let me look at that one more time. I want to get it exactly right, so I'm going to put it right at 10. Just going to put it right at 10. Okay, let's see. So pin that down right quick. That won't take long at all. So we got this here. Some larger pins. Oh, it's not working that great. I'll take one more look at it, and let me see. Okay. So now, if you see what I did, it sort of blends in so well you can hardly tell. But if you look at it closely, you can see where I lined up the pocket. All I'm gonna do now is just go back and lay it flat. I try to get a little fancy with the stitch, just depending, but I won't get too fancy. A lot of times I like to make a little fancy stitch or something to go with it. All I'm doing is going around the whole pocket and just, excuse me, the whole pocket and just sewing it down. Turning it as I go, just moving it that way. You don't have to pick it up. You shouldn't have to really move it around too much. Get to the top and make sure you have a stitch on it real good so that it'll stay on there. Try to get a little rough with it, and then it ended up coming off. They're going to be a little disappointed with you. So even if it says, you know, like I said, a Christmas gift, personal gift for somebody, whatever the case may be, and bam, we got that on there. So we're almost done. We have the pocket on there now. So now the next thing we want to do is, okay, that piece that we had put to the side, we're gonna use it for two things, and the measurements for it, I can tell you for the fabric, it actually opens all the way up, and it's like 60 inches long, and we're going to use it, well, I should say it's 60 inches, we'll say wide, because if I open up the yard of the piece of fabric that was 1 yard, the measurements for it is like 59 to 60 inches wide. And what we want to do is, what I'm going to use it for, I'm going to use it for two things. I can tell you already, most of the time, and I make sure I don't forget. But most of the time, as far as the measurement for the neck, for the scrap, is going to be between 23 and 24 inches. So when I cut it out, I'm actually able to use one side of this here and sort of just break it down. I normally use the bias tape because I do have this extra fabric. Like I said, I don't waste it actually. So I'm gonna do two things. I'm going to pretty much cut it in half, show you what I got, how we're going to use it. Look, I'm a lefty, of course. So we can do two things. We're going to do two things. We're going to use one as the neck strap to go up here, and then we're going to use this piece. The tie backs are normally they good with the measurement of the actual apron, and then they measure like 34 inches. If you attach that, then that's like more than enough room that any size will need to wear. Like I said, if it's a small person, then they should be able to actually wrap it around them like twice. And even if it's somebody that's 2X or a bigger person, she'll still be able to use it as well. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going and sort of folding it in and making it flat and even and hem it so that the thread doesn't show. We don't have any frills on the end, and we can actually, like I said, use it as a scrap. And think about it, like I said, it's like 60 inches, 59 to 60 inches. So really, it works out perfectly. I did the measurements on it from the time I first started doing this sewing. And the measurements for it, like I said, that's why I said it'll be good at 30. So that 60 inches that I told you about. If I take this here and cut it in half, it's going to give me those two 30-inch scraps that I need to go. Now you can also take this here fabric, any cotton fabric, any duck, whatever kind of fabric it is that you want to use. And they actually sell what's called a bias tape maker. I have one, but I just can like I said, once again, just with that experience, I can sort of just make it as I go. Okay. All right. Got that done. So, like I said, now this here becomes a tie back. And what I'm going to do is just going to take it and fold it in half. That gives each side a piece. And what I like to do is lay it out so that it's facing upward. So when I put it on each side, it'll be the same way, and it won't look like one is upside down. So what we're going to do is, let's see here, I'm going to take it in. I could have folded it in, but I'm just going to make a little fold on the end. So that way it's not sticking out, it's not raveled or anything. And then here's the other end. I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing and fold it. Just a little bit. It's not even a good half an inch or anything. I'm just folding it. Again, like I said, getting a little rough with it, I guess, my sewing machine. Thread keep breaking this morning, so I might need to adjust my needle. But I'll do all that when I'm done, unless of course it breaks and I have to stop. Okay, so we gotta have both of these sides done. Clean it up a little bit. Thread the machine right quick, see what's going on. Might be getting hung up a little bit. Stuff in there. Okay. So, all right, I fold it in. I'm going to leave on the side. So now what we want to do is sort of in that fold, or should I say on the side, you want to take this little scrap and fold it down. I'll show you in a second. And this here is what's going to be your tie back. I'm going to just fold it down once. And so you just want to sort of center it. Go over it a couple of times. Make sure it's in place. Make sure you back stitch on it. And let me show you. Okay. Clean it up a little bit. So bam. Here's our first side. So we got the scrap on that side. And on the other side, I'm going to turn it upside down. And we just want to make, like I said, once again, we want to make sure that when we're done with it, that the scraps do appear to look the same on both sides. So that's that. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so now we have both our scraps here. Got them on there. And like I said earlier, just in case you don't remember, like I said, we're going to use this here as the next scrap, and normally it measures, I would just measure it for it to be like a size 23 to 24 inches, but because this particular person is tall and has requested for it to be a longer apron, then how we would do that is, instead of making it 24, I will give it a little bit more, and I'm going to go with like a 29 inch, give or take, because what's going to happen once you actually go and make the adjustments, meaning folding it and turning the edges in, it's going to sort of take away from it anyway. So what I'm going to do is sort of take it, fold it in some. Let's do our thing here. Like I said, if you do it with your hand, it's cool, but if you're not familiar with this type of stuff, I'll show you later in another video where you can get a wider bias tape for the neck, just in case you don't have this much scrap of fabric left over, I guess, 4-inch scrap, I should say, and you want to use something else. Or like I said too, you can always choose another fabric, another color, another type of, well, I won't say another type of material. I think that cotton will be the best bet to go with, but you know, somebody else, they might prefer something else, or I'm not sure what's going on in the machine here. But like I said, I just probably need a little maintenance on it. And I have actually been having, sometimes when I go and buy new thread, they have it on sale sometimes. It's not cheap, but sometimes I don't know if they done had it in the store or the warehouse too long or what's going on, but I noticed it'll break also. So I re-threaded it right quick, and we're going to try to finish this thing up before it breaks again. And once I'm done, I said I'll go back in here and see what's going on with my thread. So, alright, so after, like I said, we started out, could have went with the 23, 24 inches. I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Okay, we have the scrap for the neck. Let me clean it up a little bit. Should have been a 23 or 24, but we went with a longer size. So even with that, it's still at a 29, which is a good thing, which is a fine thing. But what's going to happen is going to take probably like an inch away by the time I take and fold down on both sides. Want to make it look nice and neat. So of course I'm just going to take it, sort of fold it under, so when I lay it down here, it'll look good. Now, if I would have been using the bias tape, it would have been done a little differently, but like I said, since I'm not, I'll just show you how this here turns out. Okay. I'm going to go over it a few times. Just want to make sure. See if somebody get it and looking real crazy if the thing end up breaking on them. So got that first side down. So we want to do the same thing. I'm going to take it and fold it under again. Like we did with that one. I think I would fold it. Yeah, I folded up under. Sort of flipped it and did it again to make sure. That way it's not sticking out. It should be nice and smooth. So, right, we're going to sew this down. I'm going to make it look the same on both sides once again. It seemed like it took me forever to do this, but to be honest, if I did every step by step, it might be faster than me, but if you're a beginner, you'd be like, oh, well, this lady seems like she's going too fast, but well, it's all good. I just wanted to get this fresh video on. Just have a look and see what we're doing over here. Like I said, everybody have their way of doing things, having their own style, and I didn't go to school for this. I said that early on in the other video, but I didn't go to school or anything for sewing. It was one of my first jobs growing up in Alabama. They had these big companies down there.